Yes, I can see you. Hello. How are you?
Oh, good, dear. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for sitting with me, taking time out of your day.
Of course. I love your hair.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think it's giving Hermione from the first Harry Potter film today, but that's fine.
I fucking love it. I'm here for
Thank
it.
you, thank you. So yeah, we're gonna talk about all things the Foxies and your awesome new single, which came out a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so happy about that single. I'm glad it's out.
Yeah. It's amazing. So we obviously met last year at Hyde Park, and that was such an amazing day.
Yeah.
And so yeah, a couple of weeks ago when I saw Call Me Later was out, and it was no surprise to me that it was just a really awesome song. Like no
Aw.
surprise. I've been following you guys since last year. How did it come about? I know that you posted the like voice memos on Instagram, which I loved. I thought that was so interesting, like scrolling through. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, how did that come about? What was your like inspiration behind it? What was that process like for you?
Yeah. It was interesting because I think we wrote it actually last April. So we had it, pretty much ready to go when I met you back in Hyde
Oh,
Park.
amazing.
Um, yeah, but we didn't know that we were going to be releasing that at the top of the year.
Yeah.
Um, so we sat down. I remember I was with Jake and our co-writer Dan Agee, and we were at Dan's house, and I just start playing this little thing on the bass, and Jake is like, we should write like an I'll be there for you type of song, like from the show Friends, but like make it our own version.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I started playing this thing on the bass, like ba da 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 da, and it turned into like this. Like Jake made it beautiful. Jake made it like literally what it is, that bass line today. And Dan just literally formulated this amazing track out of my shitty ass bass playing. So, um, but yeah, we just really wanted to write a song that kind of gives back to everybody who's been there for us. It's just kind of like that I appreciate you, and no matter how far apart we grow or like how long it takes for either of us to kind of get our shit together, just know that I'll always be there for you. And that's kind of what we really wanted to get across with the song.
Yeah, I love that. And like getting out at the beginning of the year, like that's always a little bit of a rough time for a lot of people. And I think
Yeah.
you definitely get that from the song. Like first time listening to it, by the end of it, I was like singing along. It's that kind of like, oh, it just kind of hit me a little bit. It was so lovely. It's such a good song. Um, and I mean, that's kind of the best inspiration for anything, really, isn't it? To just like give
Yeah.
back. And yeah, it was amazing. And yeah, like, because you said last year that your songwriting, that creative process for you really happens in stages, or I think you called them tiers. Has that kind of stayed the same since then? Obviously, you wrote it a while back, but since then, like maybe some more stuff that you might have been working on. Is that still the same, or how has that progressed for you in the last year?
Oh yeah. It's all really, it is pretty much like tears, honestly. Like usually what we'll do is either Jake and I, if it's just us two, we'll kind of create like an idea. Or we'll have an idea and try to formulate this like rough sketch or this blueprint of a song, I guess you could say. And if we're in the room with the producer will kind of, as we're writing the song, he's building the track with what he hears us doing.
Mm,
So it's kind of like simultaneous tears that are completely different but working together.
yeah.
Um, and then after that, we send it off to just sit with the producer so he kind of has his moment with it to digest. And then we send it to mix, and then they send it to master. Um, Very rarely do we get a demo that sounds like it's ready for master on the first day.
Yeah.
But I think that's good though. I think it's good because you really want to sit with it. I mean, you can sit with so much of your creation, and if you liked it a month ago, chances are you could still like it next month, or you could absolutely hate it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So we like to sit with it, we like to simmer with it. And some of those tears, some of those stages of songwriting takes so fucking long, but that's when you know you got something good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all part of the process, isn't it?
Yeah, all
Yeah.
part of the process.
And yeah, you have to be sure of what you're putting out, and you have to love it as much as the people that listen to your music love it. Like, you're the one that has to perform it and listen to it over and over. Like, you have to absolutely be sure. Completely get
That
that.
that is the hardest part too, because I fall guilty for hearing a demo and just like absolutely loving it because it's shiny and new. And I'm like, fuck
Yeah, of
yeah.
course.
And
Yeah.
then I sit with it and I'm like, wait a minute, what was I smoking? No, I don't like this. So just take time.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, shiny and new is always great, but it has to
Right?
last a little bit longer than shiny and new.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I do that with my photos. I'll look at one and be like, that's it, that's the shot. And then I'll be editing and be like, is it, babe? Is
Is
it
it
really?
really?
Not sure. Let's go back.
Seriously, but I think that's good though because like it just shows that we're constantly striving to make ourselves happy and like
Yeah,
we know our worth and our art and what we do and it's good to never settle.
yeah, absolutely. Um, I was saying, I thought I missed a question, but I haven't. It's fine. So I keep saying it, but since we caught up last year, what's life been like for the Foxies? Has there been any memorable or unique experiences that kind of stand out to you in the last year since Hyde Park?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, honestly, that whole tour was a
Yeah,
dream
yeah.
for us. So anything that came after that is like it doesn't exist because that whole month was one of the ones that I always dreamt about exploring and living through when I was a child. So like one of my biggest dreams was touring Europe and the UK. Like that was one of my biggest dreams. And we got a chance to do that with Billy Idol back in September of 2022.
Mm.
But less than a year later, we're back out again in Europe and UK doing the festival circuit. And I'm like, all right, so when am I gonna fucking move here? Like because
It's not that bad over
because
here.
right, I'm like, America's cool, but I wanna be with them. I wanna be over there. Um,
Oh, amazing.
so yeah, I'd say that was such a dream that the whole rest of the year could have been shit and I wouldn't have cared because that was so wonderful. We did a couple other shows towards the end of the year, but I think really for the rest of the time we really were just trying to get our ducks in a row to start 2024 off the best way we could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
you definitely did that with this single.
Oh,
I think it just like it makes it so much more exciting to be like, what's next? What's next?
right. I
Like,
know.
yeah. I mean, when you were here, like seeing your set in Hyde Park and seeing the crowd's reaction, you have such a great reception, like obviously over in the US, but here as well. Like, how do you see that kind of difference? Like, because,
Mm,
when you're performing over in the US, you're home, that's where you
yeah.
are, that's who you are. It must be
Mhm.
quite different coming here because I think receptions from US and UK crowds can be like crazy different.
Oh, totally. And like you can also see it with like the regions in America too.
Yeah.
So where we play the most in America is Nashville, New York, and LA.
Hmm.
And those three markets, they absolutely go hard. They love it. They party. And those three markets, I think the reason why we play there so much is because that reminds us of Europe and UK.
Okay.
Yes, because the rest of America, even some parts of Nashville, people are very just kind of like they come to shows and they cross their arms and they just sit and they watch.
They nod. They nod along.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys, you're here to fucking watch a rock show. At least act
Yeah.
like you're stoked. Like, but that's just nobody wants to look weird, quote unquote.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
And I'm like, yo, I forgot about that a long time ago. I'm running around on stage, sweating on people and cussing people out of love. Like, come on, be weird with me. Like,
Yeah.
let's do it. And so that's what I really enjoyed about Europe and the UK. And the UK specifically, like, oh my God. Like I remember we played Manchester, we played the Hyde Park, of course, and then we did I think we did Brighton, we did some spot in London. Everybody had a blast. And everyone just they were jumping up and down, all walks of life. Everybody was stoked.
Yeah, we are
And that
weirdos over here. It does
oh my
attract.
God, it made me so happy. It really, really did. And that's why I love performing overseas is because like you guys truly enjoy music. No matter what it is, you enjoy
Yeah.
music, you enjoy the arts. And I feel like over here in America, we're still trying to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And not worry about what people think. But I think it takes time and um hell, it's taken me forever to not worry about what people think. I still think about what people think.
Oh,
But
yeah, me too. So,
yeah, but I get to a point where I'm like, fuck it, it's my life. I only get this once.
absolutely. Yeah, and I think, what you said about, all walks of life, and you really do get that at
Yeah.
gigs, at live shows. I think especially at rock shows, like I found, being in the photo pit really like taking in the crowd.
Mhm.
Certain musicians, certain artists, it's like, wow, like you would have never put these people in the same room together, like unless it was because of
Yep.
music. That's like still blows my mind. Like
Yeah.
after however long I've been doing this, like it really does bring everyone together. And I mean, you must see that like with your
Mm.
music, like on stage as well.
Yeah.
That's like a big impact that you guys are having on people, which is
That
mental.
means a
Like,
lot.
does that make you feel a certain type of way? Because it does, like music in general, but I think especially live music
Mm.
is something really special. It does bring people
Yeah.
together. It's a shared experience. How do you find that? How do you feel like being on stage and seeing all of those people just looking at you and just enjoying it, enjoying themselves,
It's
being weird?
you know, yeah, it's truly one of those things where like I always when I was younger, the thing you think about when you're young is like, oh my God, I want to be in a famous rock band. You don't you don't think about the weight that that has, you know? And then as you get older, you're like, I don't care about the fame part. I mean, that'd be cool, but I want that to be for a good reason. And what I find myself feeling um the most amazing about is when I'm on stage and when people are smiling and enjoying themselves and when they come up to me after the show and they say, "I hope you know that your music has helped me," or because of you all I choose to continue on, or just all of those things. Like it just shows that like we're doing this for the right reasons, and it's because we really want everyone to feel seen, safe, heard, and loved. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, people come to shows to escape, so what better place to tell them that they're loved than at a show, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
you know, that's, I mean, absolutely right. I think the same can be said with just the arts in general, really. Like, I know that, like, we spoke last year about influences and musicians that have influenced you guys, and that it creates such a safe environment for so many people. And it's so important. Um,
Hmm.
like, I'm always talking to anyone that will listen about how important the arts is in like education and
Oh
how
my God.
vital it is for the development of kids and to give them
Mhm.
somewhere where they can thrive. Um,
Yeah.
and so you saying that was just, yeah, like nail on the head. That's exactly it. did you and, like, the rest of the band have much of that, like, music education, whether that was in school or at home? Like, what was that education for you?
Yeah. I know Jake. So Jake grew up in a very musical household. He started playing piano when he was a very, very young kid. And then he went to school for music. So he's like the music school dude. Like
Yeah.
that's Jake. Um, Rob, Rob did as well, I think. I mean, he started playing in bands when he was young, and I think he went to college for music. Same with our bass player. He went to college for music. So
Wow.
like we all grew up that way. I didn't go to college. I was supposed to go. I had a full ride to go, but I was like, no, I'm gonna be in a band instead.
Love that.
That's what I
Fair
did.
enough.
Um, but yeah, we all grew up in very like at least somebody in our family was, always playing music. And my dad, like my parents, they always had music playing. My grandparents always had music playing. I can't imagine a life or a childhood where I didn't have it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
allows you it allows you to start feeling on a deeper level, I think, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I mean, I was the same. I grew up in a house completely full of music, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Many Bowie pictures on my walls.
Oh my God, I love it so much. Did we talk about Bowie?
Yeah, I think we did. I've got one on my ribs as well. It's ridiculous, just everywhere
Oh,
in my house. But it is so important, and I think that music education continues throughout your life,
yeah.
whether it's actively learning something or just taking it all in. And
Mhm.
have there been any more, like maybe more recent bands or bands that you've discovered in the last year that have inspired you with your music? Like new
Ooh,
ones maybe, 'cause they're all always coming from different directions, I feel, and how
yeah.
does, like, the new maybe some newer stuff or things that you've discovered kind of shaped
Yeah.
how you approach music now?
I think one that had a really big impact on me, and we played Hyde Park with them, was Bad Nerves.
Yes, of course.
I Oh my God, my brother, he actually told me about Bad Nerves, um, I think years ago, and I was always like, "Oh yeah, these guys are good." But then I started really listening to them before we shared the stage with those guys, and that I was so sad I didn't get a chance to see them that day, but their music is so amazing, so sick,
Mm.
so rad. The way that Bobby is on stage is so fucking cool. It reminds me of Johnny Rotten in a way.
Yeah, we
Um,
spoke about Johnny Rotten last year. Yeah.
oh, fucking love Johnny Rotten. But yeah, I really, really, really appreciate their artistry. And um, there is also that band Royal Otis.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
know them?
Yes, I do. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, they do that Murder at the Dance Floor cover by
Yes,
Sophie Ellis.
that's
And
everywhere at the moment, that cover. It's so good.
oh my God, I mean, like I've really enjoyed their stuff for a while now, but after hearing that cover, I was like, oh my God. So they're definitely inspiring me to think outside the box more so. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I want to share the stage with those guys.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I saw Bad Nerves supporting The Darkness at the end of last year. They are
Oh,
amazing. They're
oh,
it's
I
amazing.
bet. But
I mean, it
jealous.
was an amazing night all round, but the opening, Bad Nerves opening for them was like spot on, really.
I just need to come over and see them, see them, see them in the motherland.
Yeah, they were fantastic. As were The Darkness. I think we spoke last year. One of the things that made me laugh was Rob saying, "If I don't get a headache after a gig from headbanging, I've done it wrong." And I was like, "Yeah, I totally agree." And I took my big brother with me to see The Darkness. We're both massive fans. And the next day we were like, "Oh, my neck."
Yeah,
We went
seriously,
all out. You have to. It's The Darkness.
you have to. There's this girl band that I played bass for, and they toured with the Darkness before I was in the band. Um, but when we were doing an interview right after our set at Hyde Park, and it was like after the darkness as well.
Mm.
And mid interview, I see Justin Hawkins walking down past me, and I'm like, he sees me, I see him, and I look at him, and stop the interview, and I'm like, I'm sorry, hold on, Julia from the Dead Deads that you toured with, and he was like, he's a new bass player, and I was like, yeah.
So
Went
you're
up and oh my
amazing.
god, gave him a hug, and I was like,
I
"Hey,
was
Justin
I
Hawkins."
was too much of a wimp to go up to him. He walked past me like 5 times that day, and I was like it was so bad.
Next time,
So, honestly, biggest regret.
you know what? It's okay. There will be more times. I
Yeah,
promise.
touch wood. Absolutely, there will be.
There will be more times.
Yes. So one of my questions I have here, it's a bit of a tangent from what we've been speaking about.
Yeah.
Um, but at the moment, we're seeing a massive rise in streaming platforms,
Mm,
so
mm.
Spotify, all of that jazz, Apple Music. How have you like navigated that landscape? Because it must be quite complicated. Um, and especially like a rock band, playing live, that's the deal. That's like the main thing. But these
Yes.
streaming platforms are having a complete surge at the moment. How do you navigate that?
It's really hard because that is really how we started was like, let's just go on tour and play,
Yeah.
and that's what rock bands do. We tour. We love to tour. Um, but there is that mentality where, sometimes we have to pivot, and this is one of those where it's like we will tour when we can, but in the meantime, while we're waiting or while we're working on getting a tour, let's see how we can crack the codes on getting playlists and getting more streams and getting more eyes on our content, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, Reels. Um, it's really exhausting.
It seems like such a
I
minefield. Like social media
Oh
like scares me. The thought of having to post constantly and constantly be on it, it's like, oh, it's so overwhelming.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, we we were we started a band because we love music and because we want to play music, not because we want to be content creators
Yeah.
or marketing people. That was not the reason. We
Mm,
just wanted to create music.
yeah.
So we're trying to learn, along with many other bands, trying to learn how to become all of these roles at once. Um, and it's hard learning things as you're an adult, like if we could have taken a course on
Oh, I
what
know.
it's going to be like in 2024 as a musician,
That would be
but
great. Wouldn't that have been good?
yes, but it's all about pivoting and playing the game and uh playing the game but staying true to your art and who you are. I think that's the biggest thing. 'Cause it's so easy to forget yourself these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, and I think, especially on social media and like it's constantly having to kind of self-promote. It feels so unnatural, especially because, when
Hmm.
when you got into like playing live in your bands, I got into photography. It wasn't about how can I make this look all shiny to people to
No.
see. Like that's not why we do it. But now we're kind of having to blend jobs. It's very strange.
Yep. To curate to the times. I think that
Yeah.
that's like curating to the times is the hardest part because times are always changing. So it's like,
Okay.
I mean, I might crack a code for a trend, but that trend isn't cool anymore. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah, it goes. It's constantly changing.
yeah. So it's just like you got to constantly metamorph yourself. And it's just like, ah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Never a dull moment. Never a
No,
dull moment. That's for
never
sure.
dull, never boring. That's yeah.
No, definitely
One
not.
thing we can be sure of. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so we are finally out of January.
Ah,
Seemed to have lasted an absolute lifetime. I
I
don't know about
know.
you, but it seemed to have really dragged on. And I mean,
Yes.
obviously you guys have started the year with a bang. with Cumulator. What does this mean for the rest of the year? Have you got any kind of resolutions, any hopes for the Foxies in 2024? What's it gonna bring for all of us
So,
waiting like this?
Foxies, yes, Foxies 2024. I'll tell you one thing, just because I'm looking at it right now.
Ooh.
Um, we're gonna be having limited edition candles.
I love a candle.
Same, baby, and
Exciting.
it smells so good. And I'll give you just a little lowdown. It's gonna be called Foxy Sweat, so I'm
I
stoked on that.
I love that.
So we're gonna have candles. But aside from that, we're gonna be releasing, I think, 3 more singles until summer hits.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so 3 more singles that lead us into summer, and then we're hoping, it looks like we will be, but I just, I don't want to get my hopes up, but they are because I'm excited too. Um, to be over in Europe and UK in the summer and into fall. So
That's exciting. Yeah, okay, well, that's just answered my next question, which was any upcoming tours. I've literally written this down. We'd love to have you here again. Please come back.
same. Like I miss you guys, and truly, like I just part of me really, really like if we can't get over there over this summer for any reason at all, part of me just kind of wants to go out there in general and just like
Ex
go to shows
Yeah,
and immerse myself in the community just
yeah.
so I could bring the boys down, and it'll be more kind of like, split time between UK and Nashville. I'd be so down for that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, there are so many great venues like down here. Like
Yeah.
this past week we had independent venue week. So all the little pubs and smaller
Yeah.
venues were putting on these shows. It was awesome. I got the chance to go to a couple. And yeah, there's so many cool
Oh,
like little ones that are kind of hidden and just yeah, really cool. I mean, if you do get a chance,
yeah.
absolutely do that. It was awesome.
That's
It,
my goal. That is my goal. And, it's so funny. We didn't know that we were going to be overseas until about 2 weeks before we had our first festival in
wow.
Germany this past summer. So I'm like, all right, we'll probably not find out if we're going to be over there until maybe April, but fuck it. That's fine.
Yeah, it's part of the fun.
It's
Keep
part
you
of
on your
the fun.
toes, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
So you mentioned three new singles, that's obviously incredibly exciting. Does this maybe promise another album for us? Can you say, is there anything you can tell me?
Honestly, so at the moment, we don't have an album in the works in our brains, but we are seeing that the songs that we are currently writing and recording and releasing all work together.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that we might not do an album, but it could be maybe like an EP,
Mm,
or we might just waterfall the singles into an album.
yeah.
But I do think that there will be a body of work, a bigger one, at the end of the year, if not beginning of 2025.
That's very exciting.
I
That's awesome. Also, lots of good things. 2024 is going to be a good year. So
Yes,
that's
and candles.
and candles. I mean, what more could you ask for? What more could
All
you
right.
ask for? Good music and nice smelling candles. Basically it. That's all you want, really. Oh,
Seriously.
amazing. Well, those are all my questions. I wish I could talk to you for longer. This has been so much fun.
I know, Polly, you're amazing. And my little brother, he's actually gonna be overseas this summer. So when he's over there, I'm trying to get in his back pocket and hang out too. So
Hide in the
I'll keep you
suitcase.
updated.
Yes, please do. Amazing. Yeah, we would love to have you over here again, obviously. I would love to come and photograph you guys again. They're genuinely some of my favorite photos from last year are the ones from Hyde Park and of you. Like, it was such a good
You
day.
you were so talented. I look at those every now and then and I'm like, God, these are such good
Oh,
photos.
thanks. Oh, that's really
Serious.
lovely. Thank you.
Of
Oh,
course.
well, thank you so much, Julia, for taking time out of your day and to chat with me. It
You
was
got
so
it.
much fun, and I'm so excited for what this year brings for you guys. I'm super excited. Again, a huge congratulations on the single Call Me Later is fantastic. I've been listening to it like just on repeat. It's so good. And yeah, I'm so glad that your 2024 has been started off good, and here's to
Thank you.
very good things.
Yes, let's fucking make 2024 legendary.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Fuck
Thank
yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Polly, and I'll keep you updated whenever I find out when we're gonna be over.
Yes, please do. That
I
sounds.
will do it.
Have a lovely rest of your day.
You too, love. Bye.
Bye.